ladies and gentlemen, and being a producer of Wrestle Massacre as well as Inside Movies Galore, I am David Streggy, and welcome to Delusions of Grandeur. Enjoy the reviews. I certainly did.
Okay, Dave, that's it. Screw you and your college flunkies. I've had enough of this from you and from everyone else. I know what you guys are trying to do. Break me down, drive me out of the force. Well, it's going to take a hell of a lot more than a lame prank like this to get Curtis Mooney to throw in his badge, so fuck you. Over.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Delusions of Grandeur. I'm your host, David Streggy, and here I have another review for you from a filmmaker by the name of Evan Jacobs. And he comes to you from a production company called Anne Hedenia Films. And I picked this up from Sub Rosa Cinema, but it is his own release, and it's called Death Toilet. I'm just going to read the back here. It's just a little bit of a synopsis. So, Vietnam veteran Brett Baxter comes home to settle his dead brother's affairs and soon realizes that his toilet may be the embodiment of Satan. So the film was filmed in 2018, and it's definitely a no-budget film. I mean, there wasn't really a lot of money put into this. I will say that Evan Jacobs does use a lot of decent stock footage for some of the ways to express certain things and ideas. The very beginning, we have the brother who evidently has to take a shit, and he goes and sits down and gets his member cut off. And just so you know, there are going to be some spoilers in this review, just a little bit. Because it's been out for a little bit. Maybe not out there enough because it had a limited edition pressing. And let me show you. I mean, it's just written on there, no label. So, a limited edition pressing of his own. But it's got a decent cover design for the front of it, so I'll give him that much. Now, the war veteran Brett Baxter, there's obviously Evan Jacobs gives him good entrance with some like royal sounding army come home music, and he starts to hear this toilet laugh at him, and I think it shows him the knife at least once, because there's a knife that comes out and kind of looks like a shark. In the very beginning of the film, the brother is actually played by Evan Jacobs himself. And he, when he gets his member cut off, he screams quite a bit, and you obviously can see that the blood is chocolate syrup, and I just I like the humor that's somewhat candidly involved in this because you got to admit this is like an outlandish title. It's an almost impossible situation. A toilet cannot be possessed, people. Seriously. I mean, it was definitely a very interesting story. So he calls the plumber, and whenever he calls someone, they always sound like someone from Peanuts. Wah 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 wah. So, um, but um, eventually, the plumbing is not the problem. It ultimately becomes a spiritual problem. So he calls around to all these different people that supposedly are supposedly do exorcisms, and he calls upon this one guy, and he ends up showing up at the house. And let's just see. So here we have. Let me put my glasses on here now. We have Isaac Golub playing Father Dingleberry, who just so happens to be the priest that comes and at first he disbelieves, and he um, ends up somehow getting a reaction out of the toilet and so he started an exorcism for the toilet. And through some big explosions, by the end of the film, we are led to believe that the Army vet Brett Baxter has, in fact, become deceased. But ultimately, throughout the whole film, there are some Vietnam flashbacks. There's a moment right before the priest comes over where I believe that there is an overdone part where we see him do some martial art stuff with these scimitars that look like they were the scimitars of Raphael from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and there's just a sequence there that seems to be overly done. But that being said, if I look back at it, it is relatively comical to. And I can see how it could be comical to others. So hopefully, I mean, there was definitely some good usage of the stock footage. That's my biggest thing. The acting, yeah, was a little hokey, but yeah, that's kind of to be expected in a low budget film like this, and it's just an insanity of an idea that there is a film like this out there. So I thought it was different and unique, and I liked the title, and I liked the cover of the film. I liked the storyline of this particular movie. I wish that he had put a little bit better budget in there, but you know what? For the low budget that he did and was able to produce, I think he created something that he could build upon. So, in any case, hopefully you enjoyed my description of this film. Like and subscribe to my page if you have not. Definitely check out some of my other reviews. And let me know what you think, or whether you have seen this film, what you think, your thoughts. Just go see this film if you can figure out where to pick up a copy. It was definitely very cheap when I bought it. I think I bought it for $10. So yeah, here is the name of the film again, Death Toilet. So thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
My mother thanks you. My father thanks you. My sister thanks you. And I thank you.